Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Spiggs Gaming, and today I'm going to be reacting to the complete timeline of Ezio Auditore. So, oh my gosh. Okay, so you guys know that Ezio is like one of my favorite video game characters of all time, next to Chief and the Cortana. So, I am okay. Playing throughout the games, it was really hard to follow the timeline, especially in the second game, because the second game I feel like is like long and it kept on jumping around and like all the timeline and all the years and blah 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 blah. So I thought that watching a video of the complete timeline would be informative and it would possibly help me out with understanding where everything is in the games. So without any further ado, let's get into it.
Out of all the assassins in Assassin's Creed, none shine quite like Ezio Auditore da Firenze. Altair comes close, but come on. Ubisoft released the Ezio trilogy. They know he's the best, and so do we. That's why we're laying out his place in the world of Assassin's Creed with the Ezio timeline.
Yay!
Birth of the Assassin, June 24th, 1459 to 1477. Ezio Auditore da Firenze is born on June 24th, 1459 in Florence to Giovanni and Maria Auditore. The Auditores are a noble family, so Ezio's childhood and teenage years are pretty bougie. He apprentices under a banker and loves what all snobby rich boys love: ladies and alcohol. Ezio makes his first of many enemies, Vieri de' Pazzi, the son of another Florentine noble family. Vieri is all over Cristina Vespucci, but Ezio fights him off and saves her. Ezio and Cristina develop feelings for one another, and Vieri's rage simmers, culminating at a fight on the Ponte Vecchio, where Vieri throws a stone and gives Ezio his infamous lip scar.
Really?
And Ezio celebrates by spending a scandalous night with Cristina, until her dad finds them. Once Ezio gets home, his father asks him
That's why they fought.
to implicate Vieri's father in a murder. In December, Ezio meets his lifelong friend, Leonardo da Vinci. But after running a few more letter errands for his father, Ezio returns to find his home ransacked, and his father and two brothers missing. Since there's a warrant out for his arrest too, Ezio sneaks to Giovanni's prison window. Giovanni tells Ezio where to find a secret chest that contains assassin gear. Ezio finds it and suits up for the first time. Giovanni also instructs Ezio to take a letter detailing a plot against Florence and the Auditores to Uberto Alberti, the Gonfalonier, and a supposed family friend. Except now he's acting sketchy. The next day, Uberto denies ever getting this letter as he presides over the execution of Ezio's father and two brothers. Ezio nearly gets himself killed by trying to kill Uberto on the spot, but he flees to a brothel run by friends of his family. That night, Ezio and Cristina go to recover the bodies so they can be given proper last rites, since the government was planning on just dumping them in the river. Cristina refuses to run away with Ezio, so they kiss and part ways. Ezio wastes no time. He gets Leonardo to repair Giovanni's broken hidden blade, then promptly assassinates Uberto in front of tons of people. He reclaims his documents too. Ezio flees with his mother and sister to his uncle Mario's villa in Montevergnoni. Vieri and his goons are waiting for them, but Mario chases them off. Uncle Mario tells Ezio the secret Auditore family history. They're all assassins. Turns out the Pazzis are part of the Templar Order, the assassin's longtime enemy, and they ordered a hit on Ezio's family. Mario trains Ezio in the assassin arts for 1 year, and after some hesitation, Ezio accepts his place in the Assassin Brotherhood, going after the Pazzis. 1478. Ezio joins Mario just in time to kill Vieri de' Pazzi in a duel. Killing Vieri also frees up the villa from continual harassment. From here, Ezio vows to track and kill every Templar responsible for his family's death, in particular Rodrigo Borgia, the Grand Master of the Templar Order in Italy. Mario shows Ezio the villa's codex wall, and Ezio vows to continue his father's work to decode the codex of the legendary assassin mentor Altair ibn la-Ahad, which contains the location of a mysterious vault. Oh, and he ropes in his pal Leonardo to help build him fancy new assassin gadgets. When Ezio returns to Florence, he learns of the Pazzi's plan to assassinate the heads of the Medici family, the de facto leaders of Florence, as well as Auditore allies. With the Medicis gone, the Pazzi would place their own man, Borgia, in charge of Florence. Ezio isn't able to save Giuliano de' Medici, but he does manage to protect Lorenzo. As the city's on the cusp of civil war, Ezio kills Francesco de' Pazzi and forces the rest of the Pazzi gang to flee. He begins to regularly get contracts from Lorenzo. For the next few years, Ezio continues to hunt down the Pazzis and Borgia. This climaxes in 1480, when Borgia kills the last Pazzi, and very nearly kills an eavesdropping Ezio, too, going after the Barbarigos. 1480 to 1486. Ezio heads to Venice to hunt down Borgia's Templar associate Emilio Barbarigo, a corrupt, tyrannical merchant. With the help of some local thieves, Ezio kills Emilio in his own palace. He gets a lead to another Templar meeting, attended by Borgia himself, and learns of the Templars' plan to poison the Doge and replace him with Emilio's cousin, Marco. Ezio and his allies use Leonardo's new flying machine to get into the Doge's palace, but Ezio arrives too late and gets framed for the Doge's murder. Marco becomes the Doge, but Ezio is quickly able to infiltrate his Carnevale party and kill him before he can do any real damage.
Yay.
The one nice Barbarigo then becomes Doge. He asks Ezio and company to kill the other Barbarigo, Silvio, since Silvio's planning on killing him. Ezio does, but discovers that the assassination plot was a decoy, so that the Templars could flee to Cyprus. Securing the apple. Formal induction, June 24th, 1488. 2 years later, the Templar ship comes back, bearing the Apple of Eden, a powerful artifact. Ezio snags it and finally confronts Borgia, who, after claiming he's the prophet, escapes after a beating from Ezio and his assassin pals. Uncle Mario and the assassins take this opportunity to tell Ezio that they believe he's the fabled prophet who will open the vault, and so they formally induct him into the Assassin Order. The Battle of Forli, late summer 1488. The assassins decide to keep the apple with Caterina Sforza, Lord of Forli and an assassin ally. However, Templar mercenaries intercept the party. During the ensuing Battle of Forli, a nine-fingered monk named Girolamo Savonarola snags the apple for himself. While searching for Savonarola and the apple, Ezio agrees to take a job protecting Christopher Columbus from an assassination plot.
What's that?
And he wasn't even asked to the second time. But before this second, or valiant rescue, Ezio decides to postpone searching for the apple and heads to Spain to save some assassins from the Templar-backed Spanish Inquisition. In the process, he kills a ton of inquisitors, frees the king of the Moors, and brings an end to the war. He also learns that Borgia is a papal candidate. Savonarola rises, 1494 to 1496. After his little vacation, Ezio returns to Italy and his actual quest of looking for the apple. Unfortunately, his chase hits a dead end in Florence in 1494. And when he gets back to Venice, he gets even worse news. His ally, Lorenzo de' Medici, is dead, and Borgia is now the new pope, Alexander VI. Plus, Savonarola has used Medici's death to his advantage and taken control over Florence. Savonarola is preaching for a return to the Middle Ages and ordering people to burn all the writing and artworks of the Renaissance. Bonfire of the Vanities, 1497 to 1498. Ezio heads back to Florence and sets to work assassinating Savonarola's 9 lieutenants, who had been suppressing the citizens. His old flame Christina dies in the chaos, but the second the lieutenants are gone, the citizens of Florence rise up and drive Savonarola out of his house. Even the apple can't save him, so Ezio finally recovers the apple and kills Savonarola. Hey, it's a better way to go than being burnt to death by an angry mom. Into the vault.
And he gives the wicked
now
speech.
Armed with the apple and a complete codex, the assassins learn that the fabled vault is beneath the Vatican. They also learn that the papal staff Borgia possesses is another piece of Eden, which can open the vault when used with the apple. After a fierce piece of Eden-wielding duel, Ezio bests Borgia, but refuses to kill him. That won't bring his family back. Instead, Ezio proves he's the prophet by entering the vault. Inside, he finds only a holographic figure named Minerva, who claims to be a member of a first civilization who made humans. She also warns about the reoccurrence of a great catastrophe, and addresses some guy named Desmond, whoever that is. It's a whole thing we don't have time to get into. Just go check out our complete Assassin's Creed timeline if you want the whole story, because that also exists. When he exits the vault, Ezio discovers that Borgia is gone, and the staff has sunken into the floor. He contemplates casting the apple into the Tiber River, but decides to hand it over to Uncle Mario, and the two ride back to the family villa. Siege of Monteregione.
And this is the third game.
1500. Shortly after their return, Cesare Borgia, Rodrigo's son, lays siege on Monteregione with the papal army. His army destroys the city, and Cesare himself steals the apple and kills Mario. Ezio attempts to pursue Cesare to Rome, but passes out from his own severe injuries. Liberation of Rome, 1500 to 1503. Fellow assassin, Niccolo Machiavelli, brings Ezio to Rome and explains that Borgia's ascent to power has brought Rome into a state of serious disrepair. The city is in ruins, people are pressed and starving. Soon after burning forming his first Borgia Tower, Ezio meets Nicholas Copernicus, a scholar whose teachings are so radically anti-Templar that Vatican guards are trying to kill him. Ezio ends up following the breadcrumbs and killing the Pope's master of the Sacred Palace, who's been tasked with making sure Rome's philosophy stayed pure. Ezio then starts strengthening the Assassin Order, dwindling Borgia's influence at the same time. He revitalizes the assassins' relationships with the courtesans, the thieves, and the mercenaries. By 1501, he starts rebuilding the Assassin Order by recruiting new apprentices, including his sister, Claudia. From here, Ezio burns down the rest of Borgia's towers in Rome and kills a ton of Templar agents and 2 of Cesare's 3 generals. After he snags the key to Castel San Angelo from an amorous actor, he's appointed mentor of the Italian assassins. But he doesn't have time for any ceremony. He immediately heads out to kill Rodrigo Borgia, but his work is already done. Cesare has just murdered his father, but to be fair, he was trying to poison him. Ezio beats Cesare to the Apple's hiding spot, and in December 1503, the assassins wipe out the rest of Cesare's loyalists. The new pope orders Cesare's arrest, and the Borgia's rule of Rome is officially done. Cesare imprisoned, 1504 to 1506. Cesare is exiled to Spain and imprisoned. His whereabouts are a secret even to Ezio, who is now a counselor to the pope. Despite all the precautions, Cesare escapes after 2 years and takes shelter with his brother-in-law, King John III of Navarre. The king then gives Cesare full control of the Navarrese army. Meanwhile, in 1506, Ezio seals the apple away in the Colosseum vault. After following some Borgia lovers who had kidnapped Claudia, Ezio is already on Cesare's trail by the time he escapes.
When was that?
1507. King John has Cesare lead a force of 10,000 soldiers to seize the town of Viana, and Cesare is hoping that this can eventually help him recapture Rome. Ezio finds Cesare in the midst of a brutal siege and nearly kills him, but Cesare escapes again. Surrounded by scenes of the Navarrese army killing civilians, Ezio finds Cesare once more as his forces encroach upon the castle and kills him for good by throwing him off a wall. Good job. With their commander gone, the Navarrese quickly lose the battle, and the Borgia tyranny is finally over. Ezio returns to Rome and continues to reform and improve the Assassin Order. Arrival in Masyaf, March 1511. 2 years after Cesare's death, Ezio finds an interesting letter among Uncle Mario's belongings. The letter is from his father and mentions a sealed library beneath the fortress of Masyaf, which belonged to Altair. Curiosity leads Ezio to leave Italy in 1510, and he arrives in Masyaf the following March, and is immediately ambushed by Templars. Ezio escapes, only to learn that special keys are needed to unlock the special library, and the Templar captain, Leondros, has the journal containing their whereabouts. He figures they're looking for the keys too, so naturally, Ezio assassinates him, claims the journal, and heads to where the keys are, Constantinople. Arrival in Constantinople, May 1511. In Constantinople, Ezio quickly makes new friends and helps retake some assassin dens from the Templars. He recovers his first key beneath a bookstore run by his future wife, Sophia Sartor. She helps Ezio decode a map leading to more keys. Ezio also manages to save an Ottoman prince, Suleiman, from an assassination plot by the remnants of Byzantine forces. Ezio agrees to help hunt down those responsible in between key hunting. With each new key he recovers, Ezio is able to live through significant moments of Altair's life. Conflict with Prince Ahmed.
That was one of my favorite parts of that game.
That one of the captains, Tariq, was behind the botched assassination. This guy also has ties to the former Byzantine heir, Manuel Paleogos. So Suleiman has Ezio assassinate Tariq. Just as Ezio fatally wounds him, Tariq admits he was actually a spy, plotting to ambush Manuel. He was just trying to get in his good graces. So Ezio follows up on Tariq's mission, follows Manuel to Cappadocia, and assassinates him. Manuel also happens to have the final key. Ezio finally has all the keys, but turns out that Suleiman's uncle, Prince Ahmet, is the leader of the Byzantine Templars. Ahmet threatens to harm Sophia Sartor if Ezio doesn't hand over the key, but Ezio refuses and tries to beat Ahmet back to Constantinople. Fight for the Masyaf keys, 1512. Ezio returns to find Sophia's bookshop ransacked and his closest assassin allies slaughtered. To save Sophia, Ezio has no choice but to hand the keys over to Ahmet. But it's a trick. Sophia is about to be killed elsewhere anyway. However, Ezio saves her and pursues Ahmet's carriage. Just as he wrecks the carriage, Ahmet's brother and Suleiman's father, Selim, appear with a platoon of Ottoman guards. Selim and Ahmet's father had just chosen Selim as the new sultan, so Selim proceeds to throw Ahmet off a cliff.
Dang.
Not all bad. Selim spares Ezio because he's heard such good things from his son, but orders him to not return to Constantinople. Retirement and death. 1512 to November 30th, 1524. Ezio and Sophia travel to Masyaf, where Ezio can now successfully open the library with his 5 keys. Inside, he finds no books, but an apple and the remains of Altair, with one last memory seal detailing the final moments of his life. Ezio rejects the temptation to touch the apple, yet the apple activates, and Ezio is able to directly address this Desmond that he's heard about all those years ago. Ezio lays down his arms as a sign of retirement and says he's merely a conduit for a message he doesn't understand. Ezio and Sophia then travel to Italy and marry. Ezio and Sophia retire to a villa in the Tuscan countryside. They have their first child, Flavia, in 1513, and their son, Marcello, the following year. In 1519, Ezio gets a serious chest infection, which leaves him with a cough for the rest of his life. Still, that doesn't stop him from briefly coming out of retirement. In 1524, a Chinese assassin named Xiao Jun seeks him out at his villa, asking for his advice on how to rebuild the Chinese assassin order. Ezio initially refuses, but eventually agrees to help out. Chinese imperial soldiers ambush the pair in Florence, and Ezio trains Xiao Jun in preparation for the next ambush on his villa. The pair successfully defend Ezio's home, and Xiao Jun goes on her way as a fully formed assassin. Finally, Ezio accompanies Sophia and Flavia on a trip to Florence, and while his wife and daughter go shopping, he passes away on a park bench. Wow, after everything he did, Ezio deserved to go in peace. The Assassin's Creed train has kept on rolling without him, but he'll still go down as one of the greatest assassins of all time. Which Ezio game is your favorite? I think Assassin's Creed 2 is just a classic. That's my opinion. I'm Sydney, your host.
Oh my gosh. So, yeah, I feel like I knew a lot of that. I don't remember Christina being kidnapped. Christina? Nope. What's his sister's name? Claudia. There we go. Close enough. I don't remember Claudia being kidnapped at all in the game. I may have to go back and play everything out of those games. Like, everything that I can get my hands on. Try to beat everything in those games. Wow. Like, I knew the overall, like, storyline because I played the games, but I didn't know, like, key little bitty moments throughout those 3 games. And, yeah, that was really sad about his death. He is the only character that we saw from birth to death. And his storyline and his life was just amazing to play, and that is why he is one of my favorite video game characters of all time. Oh my gosh, I love his storyline so much, and it's just sad for everything that he went through. It's so sad, but I'm glad that he ended up having like a good ending, right? He got married and he had kids, and he died in peace, watching his wife and daughter. And it was sad, but it was very, very nice. Okay, everybody, that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, then be sure to smash the like button, because that'll help out the channel tremendously. Comment down below and let me know what your favorite Assassin's Creed Ezio game is your favorite. Mine would have to be a cross between Brotherhood and Revelations. They are way too close in like what I love about them. It is very close. And be sure to subscribe if you guys haven't already, and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I post videos, so do not miss me playing any more video game blind playthroughs and any more reactions. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.